Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 21st, 2024 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by more people, which gets the message of spirit out to more people. So, thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So now let's see. Oh, and it's also listed in the description box below. So now let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay, fantastic. We'll make everything fit. Okay, so we are crowned here, Taurus, with the Two of Pentacles. We are juggling a lot, and that's going to be important for us because we're looking at things, and as we're juggling things, we're saying, what's important to me? Like, what isn't important to me? What do I want to keep on juggling? Like, we're looking at what's causing us stress. We're looking at what's causing us anxiety, and it's like, okay, what can I step back from? You might be saying nothing. Dane, I can step back from nothing, and Spirit completely understands that completely. But what we also see is that there's emotional turbulence, okay, for disruption, upset, because we're trying to do too much and we're spreading ourselves too thin. So Spirit is really saying here, do one thing well and then move to the other, because you're going to have a lot of things being thrown at you. And if you try to balance them all at once, what you're going to do is burn out. And this moon is like a super productive moon. This moon is like, okay, you can be on task, you can be on time, you can get everything done, you push yourself forward, you've got this. And this is going to be a very, very, very important thing for you on the 21st of July, but also just in life in general. It's like, you've got this. Don't take on too much because you think you're able to. You might be able to also because you also know you can do it, but how much will it cost you to be able to like burn the candle at both ends or be juggling and always feeling stressed? So just be mindful about that during this time. It moves us then to the Five of Swords reverse. So what's very interesting here is that we're not seeing that we've changed. And that's very important for us because, the whole month of July, I don't know if you felt it, I definitely have, is that there's so many things astrologically speaking that have gone on in the month of July. And I feel like it comes to a culmination or like a crescendo with this full moon in Capricorn. So this full moon in Capricorn really propels us forward in a way that we didn't think it would. But I want to tell you about what has happened in the month of July and how that correlates to this moon and how empowering it is for you. And I know people, can love the astrology or not. You can totally fast forward through this, but Neptune went retrograde, okay? And on the 2nd of July, I just lost the date in my head. It went retrograde on the 2nd of July, and it will be retrograde until the 7th of July. And what that means is that illusions are being dissolved. We're looking at things, and there's just kind of like this awakening that has happened. And there's a sense of like, oh no, but I see the malarkey in that. I see the BS. I'm calling out the BS. I'm calling out, the nonsense here. I am claiming my voice and my power because also on the same exact day, Mercury went into Leo. Mercury went into Leo, and that brings with it confidence in our words, in the way that we travel through this world. There's a real sense of like, oh no, you can shine the light on me. I've got this. So here, there's so much that has happened astrologically speaking and personally speaking. We are not the same person. And to trap ourselves in this way of thinking or, feeling the world that I haven't changed, right? I'm exactly where I was. Spirit's like, oh no, you're not. That is absolutely wrong. It brings us then to the Queen of Swords reverse. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you are born on the cusp with Gemini, if you have air sign energy in your chart, you might find this to be very blunt, very rude, very to the point, but cruelly, almost cruelly speaking. So do be mindful about this. So especially when inner self-talk, we can sit there and say, well, it's the truth. And it's like, yeah, but you wouldn't talk to a stranger like that. So why are you doing it to yourself? Be very aware of this. You can also have a really negative air sign energy in your space that's like they're the matriarch, type of energy. And it's like you either listen to them, it's like complete obedience, or or like you don't count, or you get discarded. So just be mindful about this during this time. And I could see it almost like with, I want to say with in-laws. Oh, I don't want to be getting anybody in trouble here. I know you're going to be like, that's my mother-in-law. I see it with like a mother-in-law type of situation, or, in-laws that, somebody has married or is engaged to, or, connecting with, and gosh, they're just a little difficult, aren't they? Okay, so just putting that out there, because, oh my gosh, they're a little bit difficult. And this summer, you might not be able to avoid them. And during this moon, you are looking at things and it's like, they just threw a wrench in your plans. So just be aware of that. We then have what is this? The Chariot reversed. So this is Cancer energy. We're coming out. We're like the last day of Cancer is the 22nd of July. So this moon on the 21st of July, right? We're right at the end of the Cancer time period, going into Leo time period. But with the Chariot reverse, we can be reckless moving forward. Okay, so just acknowledging that with ourselves, we can find that Cancer time period, first of all, might not be our favorite time period at all. June 21st to July 22nd, we might be like, good riddance, good, bad, rubbish. Like, I don't like this. I'm moving on now. Very much that energy is coming forward for us as well. But this is also a time where emotionally, right, things can just be all over the place. We need to take the reins. We need to pull things forward. We need to rein ourselves in. We need to, really set up clear boundaries, which is also something astrologically speaking that has happened. But what's really interesting is that Polaris, which is the third largest asteroid in our solar system, comes out of retrograde and goes direct into Scorpio. And this is very, very important because Polaris influences our inner wisdom and creative energy. And Scorpio is all about our inner wisdom and creative energy. So with this energy here of intensity and just kind of like being all over the place, it is wrecking our pulling in of Polaris and embracing our creativity and really using our inner wisdom and listening to it, because it's just like inside we're sad, we're overwhelmed, we're overworked, we're overstressed, and we need to balance ourselves out. We need to let ourselves heal. And that is going to be a very important thing. We then have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. I know you guys are probably like, listen, it's been all reverse cards. I know we're crowned with a upright card. I know people don't like reverse cards, but it's just a different way to tell a story. And it really is a beautiful story that you have here. You really do, Taurus. And with the Nine of Pentacles reversed, okay, this is us being in the past, and this is us being in the future. We're having a bit of a hard time being in the present. Okay, why? Because our emotions can be all over the place. Why? Because we do have this other energy coming in that's kind of wanting to trap us, or catch us off guard, or make us look bad in some way or another, which is just not cool. So do be aware of that. Standing right here, right now, is going to be one of the absolute best things we can do for ourselves. We then have the Page of Wands. This is a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If we have a fire sign energy, especially a child in our life, okay, this little person is a little bowl of energy, which is like, yay. It's not that little bowl of energy where it's like, oh, it's so cute. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely exhausted and you need to calm down. And they're like, but I can run, a football field a couple more times. Thank you very much. So just being aware of this is going to be important, because we need to embrace calming exercises within ourselves, and that is going to help the way this child responds to the world. So if you respond with more fire to them, right, you're going to fuel their fire, and that is going to make them more hyperactive. If you respond with calmness and stillness, that great earth energy that you have, Taurus, that's like, this is the steadiness, this is the rock that isn't moving, that isn't going to be burnt. That is extraordinary. So that's what they need to learn from you. And you need to learn from them that that there are limits, that there are boundaries. And that's also really important, because on the 20th of July, Mars enters into Gemini. And this has us, this has us being a little bit sharp with our words, right? So that can also come forward with the Queen of Swords. So just be aware of that. But it also has us here really setting clear boundaries as well, and saying things that need to be said. So we could be like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Oh, I don't want to, rock the boat type of thing. And now we're like, no, you need to know the truth. And on the 11th of July, Venus enters into Leo, okay, which makes us all a little bit more cat-like. Like we need our space. We need to, be with people when we need to be with people, but pull back. And that's going to be important as well. It then leads us with the King of Swords. This is very interesting energy. So the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords here, that's a soulmate connection, a true love connection. And what we can find is that we can have somebody in our life that we absolutely love, like absolutely positively adore. Are we out of alignment with them? Yeah, we are. This is not talking about the in-law thing, or person that is just actively cruel, okay, actively manipulative. That's not what we're talking about here. This is a person, the King of Swords, who says it as it is calm, collective, distinguished, determined, rather like in their heads. Like they live a lot in their head. And you can sit there and be like, well, don't you want to go out? Don't you want to do these things? And they're like, what? I'm great. Like, thank you. Like, I've got this. Their world can seem small on the outside, but it's very rich on the inside. The King of Swords tells the truth, tells it as they see it. And you when you ask them a question, they will tell you the answer, whether you want to hear it or not. So just being aware of that. But there's a soulmate connection coming in that has been like ships in the night before. So that's going to be very interesting to see unfold, because you can fall in love during this moon. This can be, even though it's not a lover's moon, right? It's the stag moon in the Farmer's Almanac. It is, ruled by Capricorn. It's not ruled by Capricorn. It's a Capricorn full moon. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is very pragmatic, very logical, very like, okay, this, then this, let's move forward type of thing. And yet there's something beautiful that unfolds here. And there's a sense that like, I have to be in the present. And that's what this reading is reminding us of. You're not the person you used to be. Do not let your emotions take away your blessings. Meaning that it's like emotionally unregulated, or like all over the place, feeling everything too much, like being really hard on yourself. Stand in the present, take your gifts, see your power, see your fire, let yourself move forward, and see how far you have come from where you once were. And that is an extraordinary thing. And that's what this moon is saying. You set an intention, 6 months ago with the new moon in Capricorn. Look at how far you have come now. Look at where you are. You might say, I'm not where I want to be, but you have come so far. It moves us to our spirit message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the blue jay, one of my favorite birds. And it says, the time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility and control. You've got this. You're going to think you don't have this. Like, that's what the Chariot reverse shows us. You think you don't have it. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. And there's a power to you. There's a beauty to you. Blue jays, I was watching this person on YouTube, and she named the blue jays around her, and they answer to their name, and they come when she feeds them, and I think blue jays mate for life. And there's just this beautiful pairing with blue jays. They're just really beautiful and really clever birds. And that's what we need to see within ourselves, the beauty and the cleverness of us. It is time, the time is right, to access and master your abilities, to see yourself as you truly are, not being stuck in the past. And this moon is also helping us break out of the past and saying, hello, this is where I'm standing. Like, this is who I am. It moves us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And this is life purpose. We can be questioning our life purpose. And this moon does bring this up. Okay? I've seen this before. And there's the sense of like, do I know who I am? Do I know where I stand? Is this logical? What I want to do? Is this just completely impractical? So when life purpose is reversed, there's a blockage in your throat chakra, meaning there's a blockage around the power of your voice. It is time to embrace the power of your voice. It is time to see yourself. And as you see yourself and embrace your voice and embrace your power and embrace your tenacity, you move forward in a way you didn't think you could, and in a way you didn't think you would. And it brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. The Ten of Swords. Be mindful. Be mindful because our transformation has been painful. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been straightforward. It hasn't been the way we thought it would be. Life didn't go according to the plan. Whatever the plan was, you've gotten thrown curveballs. And with the 10 of Swords, you're going to see, and you are seeing yourself transform in a way that you didn't imagine you could. You're seeing yourself rise out of doubt and out of fear and out of negativity. And there's a sense here of resisting the transformation because what if it's not good? Like, what if you didn't make it to the place that you wanted to be, right? And what if you never will? And Spirit's like, you will always make it to the place that Spirit wanted you to be. You just have to look at the path before you and see yourself as Spirit sees you. And that could be that it's different. Like, we could want to have been a rock star or a movie star when we were little, and that can never happen, right? It might, but it might not. And then say, okay, what did I want from that? What was that proving to me? What was that proving to others? How do I let myself shine? Look at your talents. Look at you. Let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Okay, so this is just interesting. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels. Okay, so we are crowned here with self-love reversed, and then a win-win outcome is forecast. So we need to embrace self-love, and that's something that we can find difficult to do as we're balancing everything. It's like, when do I make time for me? When do I see me? How do I stand in my love, in my glory, in myself? So making room for self-love and saying I love you to ourselves is going to be really important, because a win-win outcome is forecast. And as we focus, as we balance, as we see ourselves, if we love ourselves, as we start to love ourselves, and as we embrace the love that we have for ourselves, all of a sudden we start to win. All of a sudden we move forward in that love. It moves us then to your commitment is being tested with the 5 of Swords, with not seeing ourselves as changed. Even though we have been through so much, it's like, no, I'm still the same as I always was, or it's still the same way. And it's like, no, look at how many wins you have had, or how much, look at how much the hardships and the struggles have changed you. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. And as we start to focus, we start to transform, and our third eye opens, and we see ourselves. And it's like, I can do this. I can do this, and I can move forward towards where I need to be. And it brings us then to this place of conclusions are within reach, but we also have the extremes. We have the extremes of the energy of the Queen of Swords that I saw, like, very, very clearly, trying to derail us, trying to overwhelm us, trying to be the opposite of the energy that we have in our lives that we want to build and support. But it can also be the self-doubt, right? The negativity, the negative speech, the not seeing ourselves as fully or as kindly as we need to. Conclusions are within reach. Start speaking nicely to you and open up your heart. It moves us then to the hard work is paying off. That's reverse. We don't think so. The Chariot is all over the place, right? The Chariot reverse is all over the place, and we can emotionally be all over the place. We are resilient. We need to see and just kind of like step back and see how far we come, how much we've gone through, how well we have done, and then start to say to ourselves, wow, okay, my hard work has paid off. Because once we start to see that, this is the new moon in Capricorn, right? This is the intention that we set in like 6 months ago in January, right? And now we're starting to see it now. Now we're starting to see, oh, this is what I'm building forward. And we could have been in a really negative place, and we were in a really negative place in January, at least with thinking of ourselves as successful and seeing ourselves as resilient. It was almost like we were beaten down, and it was like, I don't know how I'm going to get up from this. Look at the bigger picture and embrace the purity of your intention. Without everybody's ego, without your own ego, it's like, what do I really, really want? If I just take out the noise, what do I really want? And that then has us not fearing from the past, not fearing about the future, but standing in the right now with a level of confidence and assurity and determination that is profound. Adjustments are required. They are going to be required. You know, as we even start to embrace our passion, that we had since we were little. Our inner child also needs to be heard during this time. Our inner passion, our inner fire, our inner tenacity, and adjustments are going to be required in order for us to create what we want to create within our lives. And it brings us then to nothing is yet set in stone. We're having a hard time trusting that. We're having a hard time trusting that because we will embrace the power of our voice. We will embrace, our determination, our logic, our gumption forward. Nothing is set in stone. Trust. Even though right now, trust is hard and trust is overwhelming. Taurus, trust. It will be one of the best things we can possibly do for ourselves. Now let's see our subconscious message. We have a plethora to come from. So here we have the osprey. And the osprey in Greek mythology was the representative of Poseidon. So I think that is so beautiful. It says, your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. And we have that reverse. It's like, nope, it's not. There's something here. There's a blockage around us. There's something that we think this is a failure and I'll never be able to redeem myself from it. And Spirit is saying to us, stop it, and stop it right now. It moves us to our chakra energy, which is universal light. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. This is healing, this is compassion, and this is power guiding us forward. And it's just that energy raining down on us, and it's us connecting with that energy and guiding ourselves to the next level, like leveling up in a video game. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. One of the problems that we're having is that we've come out of a tower time. And that tower time has a correlation around listening to Spirit, has a correlation around Cancer time period. That Cancer time period can also bleed into Gemini time period. So do be aware of that. A tower time happened there. Okay, we have that in the major arcana. And we've been off our footing ever since. So looking at ourselves now and realizing that yes, our mind has been blown, right? We don't see things the same way as we had before. And we need to embrace our strength and our power and our determination of self. That is going to be super important. But we need to look around us and say, I see what has fallen. I see what is intense here. And I am rebuilding my dreams. And I am rebuilding my life. And I am moving myself forward in a way I didn't imagine I could. And now it is extraordinary for me. It brings us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the King of Pentacles reversed. We have to remember here, Taurus, that we are king. And we can be our own worst enemy. Smack myself in the face with the microphone. Sorry about that. We can be our own worst enemy. We can be overwhelmed. We can doubt. We can fear. We can want everything to be so organized, so ordered, so aligned that it will never be the right time because it just has to be so perfect. And now we need to see ourselves in a new light, in a new way. We do. And we need to see ourselves as king. We need to claim our power because there's something here where we've given our power to somebody else. It moves us then to our Luna message, which is attraction. Don't let your past hold you back. The energy that we are attracting to us is held back by our past. And this moon, this Capricorn energy, this Capricorn new moon, it really leads us to success. It leads us to looking at things logically, practically, being able to take bite-sized pieces when we want to eat the whole entire cake and move forward with this guidance, this insight, this power. And it helps us also change the energy that we're attracting because we've doubted ourselves. The past has hung chains around us, like Marley in A Christmas Carol, right? It has hung chains around us, and we doubt that we can move forward. We doubt that we can be where it is that we need to be for us. And what we need to see is visualize ourselves breaking those chains and rising up out of the darkness, which we've been fighting a transformation. For whatever reason, it's scary, it's overwhelming. I have too much to do right now. We've been fighting a transformation. Now it is time to embrace it. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and abundance of this moon and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye. Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 21st, 2024 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by more people, which gets this message of spirit out to more people. So thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below, and I look forward to reading for you. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides. Excuse me. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Just want to make sure that you can see everything. Wonderful. Okay, we are crowned here by the Eight of Cups reversed. So there is something during this moon, during this time, that we're going to realize, like, I've been resisting moving away from this. I've been resisting this change. So the acknowledgement of that during this full moon in Capricorn is going to be a very big thing. And it is something that we've known we had to change since the beginning of this year. Okay, when we set our intentions 6 months ago with the new moon in Capricorn, they now come to fruition in this full moon of Capricorn. So, excuse me, I'm going to cough. This is a time where we see ourselves needing to change something, like needing to move away from something. Something becomes very clear. It's like, this is toxic. This isn't right for me. It doesn't fit anymore. And it's like, I have to choose me. I have to choose me and I have to see me. And it moves us then to the Justice card reversed. Okay, so Justice is Libra energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Libra, if we have Libra energy in our chart, this is going to come through very, very powerfully during this time. But it's like something is out of balance. Something wasn't just, something wasn't fair, something is out of balance. It's actually because something wasn't just or fair, or we experienced an injustice that it has knocked us out of alignment. Now, Libra's number is, it's 11. Did it happen when you were 11? Did it happen 11 years ago? Something like that. It's going to be, it knocked you out of balance, and it's been for a long time. It could be, in November as well. That could be the month that's being circled here. So just being aware of that is going to be super important, because we're now coming back into alignment, and it can also have really affected the way that we set our intentions during the new moon in Capricorn, 6 months ago. So just being aware of that during this time is going to be very important for us. It moves us then to the Queen of Cups reverse. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, emotional manipulation. Okay, this is an energy that's toxically, I don't like toxic anymore. It is immaturely feminine energy coming forward that is manipulative and, destructive. So being aware of that is going to be super important. There is also a sense of like, well, if you love me, you would. And you're going to be like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. It's like, no, that's not right for me. It then leads us to the Eight of Pentacles reverse. So it's interesting here, the repeat of the number 8, especially when it correlates to the full moon in Capricorn, because Capricorn is all about like the worker bee energy, right? Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is very practical, very down to earth. And so during this time, we are going to be looking at things and we're going to be too rigidly practical about something, or too rigidly like it has to be just like this. And we've been afraid of letting in the chaos. And this is going to be a time where we start letting in the chaos. And we're going to see it affect our emotions, our heart, the way that we move forward, but also our practicality. It's going to be like, it's like it could be our finances. We can find that we want to spend a lot more than we have. So being, fiscally conservative is going to be important for us during this time, because we can really be like, woohoo, So just be mindful about that. With the Eight of Pentacles also, like during this moon, we can really sit there, which is interesting for Capricorn energy, and be like, I don't want to go to work. Like, I don't want to be doing this. I don't know what day the 21st falls on of July, but just be mindful about that. You might be like a little bit off your game, a little bit like, I don't know if I want to be doing this anymore. Why am I still here? What's going on? So just being aware of that is going to be really important. It then leads us to the Page of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay? And this is us having to be a student of our voice. And it's also really interesting here because the sword is here, the sword is here. Libra energy is represented by the Justice, right, in the major arcana. And so what we can be seeing here is that I have to be a student of being just to myself, being just in my voice, being just to what I desire as I move forward. That is going to be a pivotal part of who we are during this time. So the acknowledgement of that is going to be very important. Now, if you have an air sign energy child in your life, a Gemini, a Libra, an Aquarius, right? It can be your kid, it can be your grandkid, it can be your niece or your nephew, or, kids that you work with. You're going to see that they start to say things and you're like, oh, wow. Like they resonate deep. There's going to be something deep comes out of their mouth, and it's going to be at like the time you least expected. And you're going to be like, oh, wow, that was profound. And it's going to change the way that you look at things. It's going to change the way that you take in certain information during this full moon. But what's also really interesting is that as you look at yourself, this is going to be connecting with your inner child voice. And it's going to be giving your inner child a voice that it never thought it had, that you never thought you could have. You are going to see yourself moving forward and saying, but I've always wanted to say this. Like I've always wanted to do this. And it's in love and respect, kindness, grace, all those really good emotions. It's not anything toxic or negative. It is really sitting there and saying, I am embracing my voice. Now, what's very interesting here is that this full moon in Capricorn is is preceded by a whole bunch of really cool astrological energy during the month of July. So on July 2nd, we had two big shifts happen. So Neptune went retrograde. Neptune is the ruler of the unseen world. So with Neptune going retrograde, illusions and delusions were lifted. So there's a much clearer way of seeing things during this time that's coming forward. And I see it as like I've cut through the veil. And there's going to be the sense of like, wow, I didn't even realize that was unjust. And I didn't even realize that was bothering me so much. We have this beautiful energy until the 7th of December. Mercury, went into Leo also on the 2nd of July, which is bringing us a confidence in our words, a confidence in our communication, in our travel, in what we desire. Now, Peleus, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, is the third largest asteroid in our solar system. And it came out of retrograde and went direct right into Scorpio. And what we're going to see here is that this promotes our imagination. This promotes our creative energy. This really has us lifting the veil from in front of our eyes and saying, this is what I want to create. Now, we can be emotionally too hard on ourselves. It can be like, if it's not perfect, if I don't love it all the time, why should I even do it? Especially around work, we can be a little bit sad, a little bit depressed, a little bit intense, maybe even having a bit of anxiety, fear around things. And this is going to be a time where it is simply being a student. This moon is going to give us permission to say, I'm learning. I'm seeing, I'm discovering. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm cutting through the chaos, because Capricorn energy doesn't like chaos, but Capricorn energy and Saturn energy has us face chaos and say, I see you. And it's when Capricorn energy can live with chaos and be okay with it. That's when all of a sudden the maturity, the intensity of the beauty of it all comes into play. And that happens at different times for every single person. So being aware of this is going to be a very important thing. All right. We also have on the 11th of July, we have Venus entering into Leo. So everybody's a little bit cat-like with love. It's like, I love you on my terms, but then I'm going to get up and go away. And you're never going to quite know. So being mindful about that, because Virgo, we don't like that. That's not our thing. It's like, you're going to know what you know. I will tell it to you straight, give it to you straight. We're also very big into communication. We're very confident in our communication because also we are being a student of our words, right? We're embracing our expression, but we're ruled by Mercury. So we love communication. So just being aware of that. And then we have the King of Swords reversed, which is very interesting. We are going to be much more comfortable taking in the knowledge and having to be in a place of authority. And this can also be a time where we're much more comfortable with people like asking questions, diving deeper into things than being told what to do. We can also be very harsh on ourselves. We can be the first one to criticize ourselves, say we haven't done the job well, be angry at ourselves, be harsh, be intense. So do be mindful about this. We can also be dealing with an air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that always points out what you can't do. Okay? The King of Swords reverse coupled with the Queen of Cups reverse, right? These are the emotions of things. These are our mind and our heart. And our heart is always talking to our mind. And if our heart is always criticizing ourselves and our mind is always agreeing with it, we can spiral. And this moon can be like, you have to work harder, you have to do more, look at this, look at that. It can be a moon where we're like totally comparing and contrasting ourselves against everybody, and comparison is the thief of joy. You have to stay in your lane. You have to look at what you're doing and say, I might not be the best at everything. Or you can look at yourself and say, I might not be the best at anything. You can be really harsh on yourself. But my gosh, am I tenacious? My gosh, am I powerful? And that is going to be the game changer here. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Oh, and do note that on the 20th of July, we have Mars entering into Gemini. So our words can be like weapons, and we have that coming through. And that we're going to be really good, again, at questioning, at seeking, at diving deeper, but also dealing with questions, dealing with, things like that. But a person is going to come in and really act like an authority. And we're going to think, oh my gosh, they know so much. And we're going to give them so much credit. But then there's going to be a sense of like, they build you up to a point, and then they'll just cut you down and make you doubt yourself, make you fear moving forward, make you fear going after what it is that you really want, make you look at yourself and think, I'm not good enough. So just being aware of that, we can also do it within ourselves. We can get to a point where it's like we're awakening spiritually, we're awakening practically, and then we're just going to cut ourselves at the knees for one reason or another, and it's going to be over a little infraction that doesn't mean anything. So being aware of this is going to be an important thing. It moves us then to our spirit message. So Spirit is saying here, oh, and if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, please put a sun in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced at random. So hit the bell notification and know that the video announcing the winner will only be on this channel. So do not be tricked by anybody. It will only be here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, goodness. And show me clearly. Okay. So the flicker. Oh, I like that. And the bluebird. So the bluebird came out first, and the flicker just stuck in my hand, so it definitely wants to be seen. And the bluebird was reversed, and it says, you are being gifted with blessings and happiness and peace. Blessings of happiness and peace. And that's reversed. Oh, I don't want to say I don't like that for you, but I don't like that you don't see this. So, Virgo, you are being gifted. Like, Spirit is handing you gifts right now, and we're not seeing them. And we're like, no. And I know you could sit there and say, there's no aces here. There's no gifts coming in. Dane, it's a struggle. It's so hard. But you're being handed gifts. And Spirit wants you to see them. And it's just going to be hard for us. Because again, this is making me emotional here. That you are so talented and you are so prosperous, like of soul and spirit. And it's like this thing that happened that was unjust, it was unfair, nobody would sit there and hear it and be like, oh yeah, I totally see why that happened. They'd be like, no, gasp, clutch your pearls type of thing. There's a healing that's coming from it. And the healing only comes when we embrace our heart and we start to see the power of our words. And until we do this, we've given the power to somebody else, something else, waiting for it to all just align perfectly. And this moon in Capricorn is like, look at the chaos of it all. Look at the randomness of life and fate and everything of it. You are so strong. And it just wants you to see that. Because once you see that, Virgo, it's like, oh, well, hot diggity dog. Like, I can do this and I can do that and I got this and I got that and I can move forward this way. I've got this. And all of a sudden, there's going to be this shift within you and you're going to stand taller and you're going to walk with more confidence. And it's going to be like, oh, but this is me. I've got this. It moves us then to the flicker, which says, new rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. That's exactly what Spirit just said. I love that for you. I love that for you. It's all coming in new. It's not going to be the same old game. It's not going to be the same old worker bee energy, that's coming in. It is going to be this new energy. It's like this new queen is coming into your life. You could be the new queen in your life. And you're embracing your prosperity, your success, your bounty, your abundance. It's all about you. And it's not in that egotistical, maniacal type of way. It's not like, oh, I'm going to build a rocket and send myself into space type of way. It is, the sense of I am building my foundation and I am sharing it with the rest of my world. And it's just an absolutely beautiful thing. Our our chakra message during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. It's clarity. Yeah, it's clarity. It's the third eye chakra. You have a way of seeing, Virgo. It's like seeing the big all cap letters underlined. You can see things. You can see auras. Okay? You can see people's energy. You might not call it aura, however you word it. Okay? You are going to be able to see people. And that's actually going to be very beneficial to you. And once you start to see like, oh, I can see people, like, oh, I get this. I get their energy. I get their mood. My mood can match their mood type of thing. If they're in a bad mood, you can just avoid them and let somebody else work with them also. So just being aware of that. I see it being very beneficial for you at work, especially if you work and when you work with a whole bunch of people. So just knowing that, that's going to be very good. Tapping your third eye is a great way of opening your third eye. So being aware of that energy too is spectacular. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is the Three of Cups reverse. It's interesting because that correlates to absolutely everything that is being shown here. The Three of Cups reverse is this energy of I'm seeing the people who haven't raised their glass to me, who can't celebrate me, who I'm never going to be good enough for. And it's like we've given them a lot of power because that's how we as human beings work, right? We give a lot of power to the people who don't see us, don't treat us well. And then the people who do, we're like, oh yeah, but you're always going to be here. So here it is embracing and looking at the people who truly love us. And everybody else, we're like, you know what? That's fine. You can go. You may go now. It's like, you're dismissed. Thank you. Please leave. So be aware of that because this energy is going to come in and we're going to think, yeah, but that person didn't like me. And, we could, especially if it's with a parent, it's like, well, that my own parent, couldn't see this or couldn't see that or belittled me here or belittled me there. A parent, a teacher, a grandparent, a person of authority, and we're going to see, or a partner, right? We could have had a partner. I see it more as a partner who like really kind of love bombed us and then just was very manipulative, very, very cold, very cruel. So just being aware of that during this time, Virgo, is going to be a very important thing. Okay, enough on that because that's kind of a downer. Let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Let's go deeper. Angels and spirit guides. Sorry, I have the hiccups right now. I do apologize. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, I like that. angels, and spirit guides. Interesting. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, that makes so much sense for you. Okay. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. I see this. I see you. I do. And this moon is saying, I see you, Virgo. I really, really do. So what's really interesting here is that the full moon in Capricorn reversed, right? This is what we're talking about. This is what the full moon is. The full moon is in Capricorn. The new moon in Capricorn is in the upright position. So the full moon in Capricorn is an end of a tough cycle approaches. This has to do with justice. This has to do with the realization that you have not been crushed. You are resilient. And that's one of the superpowers that you have, but you're not seeing it as a superpower. You're seeing it as like, well, yeah, I'm tenacious or I'm doggedly stubborn type of thing. You're not seeing yourself as having the superpower, which you do. And it's your tenacity. Okay. So the end of a tough cycle approaches. We don't believe that. It's like, it's always going to be hard. It's always going to be unjust. It's always going to be unfair. And as long as we see it that way, the clarity of our vision is going to come forward and it's going to bring it forward. One more battle, right? You're ready for one more battle. You're ready for one more battle. And it's like, no, I'm tired. I need to stop. I need to rest. I need to see myself. You have a sensitive soul, Virgo. It's absolutely exquisite within you. Embracing that sensitive soul, grounding yourself, stabilizing yourself, seeing yourself, and embracing your tenacity, embracing your hard work, your dedication. That's when you see here, like, I need to walk away from something I once thought I would love. And it's almost this protective shell that you've put around yourself. It's not almost, it is this protective shell that you've put around yourself. And it is the realization that I myself am the key. I am unlocking the door, and I'm not going to let pride get in my way. The pride of ego, the pride of I can't, the pride that, however we interpret it, but it's the pride of ego come forward, of your ego or somebody else's ego. And it moves us then to the Queen of Cups and action. And it says, take time to breathe out. Because of emotional manipulation, this could be by a man or a woman, or however they identify themselves, right? But what we're going to see here is that the Queen of Cups made us doubt ourselves. It was toxic love. It was toxicity disguised as love, or disguised as I'm helping you, I'm taking care of you type of thing. And it stopped us from acting, and it's made us hold our breath ever since. Or it can be a person who was supposed to love us and couldn't. They just couldn't do it. They couldn't love. They can't love themselves. How the heck could they love you, right? That's the thing here. And it moved us from action. It made us freeze, because that was also the safest thing to do around that person, was just freeze. Like, just freeze, and maybe they won't see you. Breathe out. It's time to breathe out, right? It's time to make a little bit of noise. It's time to claim your life back. Because what we're going to see here is that even though we might be looking at work and being like, I'm not inspired, I don't want to do this, what the heck is going on here? We love ourselves. We're going to find it hard to surrender to the divine of this full moon. But as we surrender to the divine, and it doesn't have to be like of the moon, it can just simply be, I'm made of stardust. Divinity lives within me. There is a story I read a zillion years ago when I was in middle school. And it was like this fable. It was telling about how human beings, were searching for themselves and came to be. And this once upon a time was when there was like the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, the God of like all the great religions, all the pantheons before. They were all called gods. And they all got together and they said, where shall I hide the God's head within man? His everlasting power, his purpose, his, connection to the divine. And one of the gods said, oh, hide on the tallest mountain. He'll never go there. And the god said, no, he'll climb the mountain. He'll get there. And one said, hide it in the deepest part of the ocean. He'll never go there. And they said, no, he'll figure it out. He'll go there. And one said, oh, do it in outer space amongst the stars. He'll never go there. And they were like, no, he'll get there. And then one god turned around and said, hide it within him. He'll never think to look there. And I said, oh, you're right. He never will. And that is what we're seeing here. Self-love and a surrendering to the divine within you will lead you to the place where you're not working just simply to survive, or just, doing some drudgery that is like slowly and steadily draining your soul. Because even if you never change jobs, once you start to see that Godhead within you, your whole energy starts to change. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got this. Because your connectivity with others is going to shine through like nobody's business. And all of a sudden you are a magnet. And it's not saying that if everything doesn't happen instantaneously, you got it wrong. It's not putting it on you. It is saying that your connection with people, Virgo, is one of your biggest strengths. And it's the way that you need to move forward. And it all comes from loving yourself. It all comes from seeing you and seeing how special you are and what a fleeting time we have on this earthly plane. And it brings us then to being a student, to assessing the situation and to know that our hard work is paying off. Because once we go through this shift, we've shifted our whole entire world. And then with the King of Swords, okay, here we have wisdom. The King of Swords reversed. Within all this negativity, there's a wisdom that comes forward. It's like, oh, I have a knowing. And we need to meditate and contemplate to be able to see it. But it's that wisdom that's fighting back against the anxiety, the negativity, the hurt, the pain. And we are seeing ourselves. And it's like, oh, I embrace power now. I embrace my power. I embrace myself. And this energy here is not going to take me down. And this moon is like, you've got this. This is the moon where you can work super hard. You might not be into it, right? But you can see yourself working and succeeding and achieving. And it's like, no, I just have to do X, Y, Z. Like all of a sudden you can start to see how to move the chess pieces. All of a sudden you can start to see the game that you're playing, where before you might not have been aware of it. And it's like, oh, I got this. It's a blessed moon because it gives you such clarity and such insight to be prosperous, to move forward in prosperity. And that is a fantastic thing. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message. And this is the pheasant. It says, it is time to the time is ripe for creation and connection. Focus your attention in these areas. And that's it. Focus your attention in creation and connection. That's where you thrive. That is where you thrive, Virgo. As an earth sign energy, that is where you thrive. And it moves us then to our subconscious chakra message. And that's interesting, psychic development. So this is the third eye chakra, which is open here for clarity. We can see things quite clearly, but embracing our psychicness, embracing our intuitiveness, we're fighting here. This energy is fighting against each other. Part of our third eye is open, part of our third eye is blocked. We have to open that third eye and embrace our psychicness, our sensitivity, however, like our empathicness, however we say it, like, oh, I'm a sensitive person, or, oh, I'm psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a this, I'm a that. However you embrace this, it's the acknowledgement of it, which seems to be very hard for you right now. And I get it. I completely get it. But it's like once you see this within yourself and it's not like, oh, I have to hide this. You don't have to tell everybody. You might not want to deal with everybody's opinions, and that's valid. Everybody has an opinion, right? You have to live your life for you. But embracing and not shutting off the side of you is going to be so important. And you're going to do so in the Capricorn practical way. And that is exquisite. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. And this is wanting to release responsibilities. It's going to like an extreme, right? The 10 of Wands is like, I want to let this go. I can't carry this anymore. And the 10 of Wands reverse is like, I'm releasing it. But when we're told to be mindful of it, and when it's reversed, it's like, I'm running away from it. And we have to release it. And then look at everything that we've been carrying and say, oh, I don't need this. It's like cleaning house, right? I don't need this. Why the heck did I carry on with this? Like, why did I hold this? What is this? Oh, I have to return this to this person. That type of thing needs to be done. A sorting needs to be done. And that's going to be really important here. And we're not going to want to. We're going to be like, I'm going to throw this down and I'm just going to leave it there. And it's like, no, that's littering. Don't do that. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the 7 of Pentacles reversed. So we're not going to want to be patient, which seems to be a theme during this moon, that we don't want to be patient. We want to rush things. We want to push things forward. And so here, subconsciously, we're going to have to remind ourselves, be patient. Slow and steady wins the race. It's going to be a very important theme for us. It moves us then to our subconscious moon message, which begins with balance, which is interesting because we have that Justice card reversed, which means that we feel like things are out of balance. But this moon pulls us back into balance in the most exquisite of ways. And it brings us then to reversed, look at the bigger picture. So when things come into balance, it's stepping back. It's not getting myopic. We're going to want to get myopic and like laser focus on this one thing. And Spirit's like, no. Step back and then look at the bigger picture, which is going to be a tricky thing for us. So just being aware of that is going to be super important. Okay. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Virgo, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed moon. Bye. Hi, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 21st, 2024 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by more people, which gets this message of spirit out to more people. So thank you so very much. And if you're interested in a private reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It is located in the description box below, and I look forward to reading for you. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And this is your moon, Capricorn. This is a full moon in Capricorn, which is the culmination of the intentions we set in the new moon in Capricorn 6 months ago. So at the beginning of our year, we set our intentions during the new moon, and this full moon is very empowering for us during this time, because we're going to actually be able to see how far we've come. Even if we're not exactly where it is that we want to be, we've been through a lot, we've grown a lot, and there's an intensity to this moon that very much facilitates that growth and that power within us. And we're going to get into the astrology of the month of July, which also plays a huge part of this moon. So we are crowned here by the Six of Cups reverse. So there's a real sense of, I just said, I'm releasing the past, is what Spirit just said to me. I'm releasing the past. It's like the past has had a hold on you. It's been intense. It's been overwhelming at times, but I'm releasing the past and I'm moving forward in my present. There can be the sense in like a nagging in the back of your mind that like, oh, I won't be able to get to where it is that I want to be or move forward the way that I want to. And yet we're going to see here that that's not true. This time is going to be disproving that. And you're going to see that you're really being set free and move forward in just one astounding way. It's going to be a bit of a challenge of this moon, yes. Like this moon will be a bit of a challenge for us, but it's astounding for us. The Eight of Pentacles is hard work, it's determination, it's focus, it's insight. And we move forward in that hard-working determination, looking at what we want for ourselves. And this is a very hardworking moon. It moves us to the Page of Cups. We are connecting with our inner child self and what we love and what we desire, and this real sense of where's my heart. And that's also what this whole Capricorn time period, not Capricorn time period, this whole Cancer time period has been for us, Capricorn. It's our sister sign. And it brings out either the best in us or the worst in us, right? Cancer being our sister sign. And what we're going to see here is that it's made us be a student, and it's also made us go back and look at our inner child self, which can be why the Six of Cups is coming back, is coming up, crowning this whole reading and saying, listen, I had to look at what I was once upon a time, even though I didn't want to, even though it wasn't what I wanted to do, but my mind got brought back there for one reason or another. And now I'm starting to be in love with the person that I once was. Instead of saying, oh, you should have done this differently, and I can't believe you did that, and oh, this was so silly. It's like, no, I'm embracing loving me. And it moves us, oh, I love it. It moves us to the Queen of Pentacles, and that's what we are. We're represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana, and we're coming through as a queen. We're coming through as powerful, as determined, as focused, but also astoundingly nurturing of our dreams, of what we value, money, or what we value as much as money. And we are seeing ourselves really step into a leadership role for us, but it's not in that, when people think of leadership roles, we usually think of sacred masculine energy, right? Very positive, mature, masculine energy. And that's great, but this is very positive, mature, feminine energy. And so it's taking the step forward, but also being highly creative, highly emotionally, in tune to things. And it's having that energy move us in a way that brings us prosperity, that nurtures our success. And it brings us then to the Wheel of Fortune. This moon is going to see us stepping into a new season of our lives and stepping into a new sense of self. And then we have the moon reverse. So this moon is going to be intense, right? The moon is ruled by Cancer. Well, Cancer is ruled by the moon, and it's going to be intense for us, but it's also going to be beautiful for us. So again, we've been pulled to thinking about our past, even though we hadn't wanted to. wanted to. We are going to be looking at this moon and we can feel like I have 18 million different things to do. Why am I focusing on this? What is going on here? We are slowly and steadily building ourselves if we let ourselves listen to the power of this moon. But if we let ourselves listen to the power of our angels and our spirit guides who are constantly moving us forward, we are going to find that we are emboldened and we are determined and that we are divinely guided during this time in a way that we just hadn't expected for us and we didn't think was possible. So that is really cool. The moon also represents Pisces energy. So if we have Pisces in our chart, if we have Pisces in our life, we can find this energy to be a bit challenging. So do be aware of that. But there's also a sense of wanting everything to be in order, right? And what's very interesting for us, Capricorn, is that with the Cancer time period, with the Pisces energy, these are both water sign energies, right? Water moves through the earth and around the earth and soaks into the earth and is a part of the earth. But we're going to start to see that we are not having to control the chaos. And that's one of the lessons of being a Capricorn that is part of our life path, is that the chaos can come in and the chaos will always be there. We cannot control it because it's chaos. It's like random, chaos theory. And it is going to be, but we can, if we move with it, if we ride the waves of it, that is going to lead us to an extraordinary place, Capricorn. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, please put a sun in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced at random. So good luck to everyone, angels and spirit guides. Here we have the bluebird, and it says, you are being gifted with blessings and happiness and peace. And I love that for you because Capricorn, you are. You are being gifted with blessings and happiness and peace. And let's talk about this time astrologically speaking, because this moon is just the beautiful cherry on top of a lovely Sunday that has been presented to us this July. So we have Neptune going retrograde, right? And this shatters so many illusions. This shadows illusions that have been around us. We start to see things clearly and we continue to see things clearly. So this Neptune going retrograde happened on the 2nd of July and it will last till the 7th of December. Also on the 2nd of July, we have Mercury moving into Leo. And this brings confidence to our words and confidence to our thoughts. It's more of a sense of like, oh no, I know what I'm talking about. And even if we get confused, like even if our mind is going so fast, if like our Mercury is in Gemini, which my Mercury is in Gemini. And sometimes I find that my mind goes so fast and I'm trying to put everything together as succinctly as possible that I miss huge parts of the story. So just being aware of that is going to be super important during this time, that our Mercury is in Leo. There's a confidence to our words, even if we mess up, even if it feels like, oh, we're trying to get everything out so fast. And somebody's like, I missed something big here. Like you didn't say something big here. How is this all correlated? We don't sit there and berate ourselves. It's like, oh yeah, sorry, I was just super excited. So just being aware of that is going to be really important. We have Polaris, which is Polaris. That's it. I hope I'm saying that correctly, which is the third largest asteroid in our solar system. Okay. That has come out of retrograde and has gone direct. And it is in Scorpio now. And what this means for us is heightened creativity, heightened intuitive wisdom coming forward, this real sense of like, oh, but I know. And that's really going to serve us well because we have this energy here of I know, and I know I can move forward with it. Now, Venus enters into Leo, and this is on the 11th of July, and it makes us all a little bit cat-like when it comes to love, which we're okay with. Like we're a sign, Capricorn, that's okay with cat-like love, especially if we're busy and we have things to do. It's like, okay, if you can take care of you, I'm great with that. So just being aware of that, but also that we ourselves can be a bit cat-like when it comes to love. And then on the 20th, we have Mars entering into Gemini, which means that our words can be a bit harsh. And this is for everyone. Everybody's words can be a bit harsh. We can be a bit biting with things. We can say things just bluntly and to the point and forget about the feelings and emotions behind it. So just being aware of that is going to be super important, but it's also going to be really good for setting up boundaries. All right, so let's see what our chakra energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is life purpose, okay? And we've had a blockage around our throat chakra and our life purpose. It's been hard for us to speak our life purpose. And I know that sounds like, well, Dane, even if I knew my life purpose, like, what the heck? It sounds very grandiose to say life purpose. But part of our words, part of our communication, part of our travel here on this earth, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we interact with others, it all leads towards this life's purpose. And that is going to be very important to us. And that is very important to us. This is a time where we start to see a blockage with that, or we start to see how we were downplaying ourselves, because this moon is all about working hard, going after what we desire, and building something fantastic. And this is why it's a blessed moon, because we're all working towards something. And this blesses us and says, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you, and I'm illuminating the space. And I'm helping you move forward in the most positive of ways. So humming, singing, chanting, that is all astoundingly good for the throat chakra. And looking at how we're talking to ourselves about things that we are passionate about. Are we being rather dismissive with ourselves? Are we being rather negative with ourselves? That is going to be an important thing to realize too. It moves us to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Six of Swords reversed. We want everything to happen really, really quickly. And we're kind of moving forward in uncharted territory. I mean, we're always moving forward in our uncharted territory. Every second, we're older than we have ever been, which is exciting and scary at the exact same time. So here with the Six of Swords reverse, it's like, don't try to move into the unknown so quickly that we don't think about it. We don't plan about it. We don't kind of analyze. And it's not obsessing. It is just simply saying, okay, I'm going to think about this and move forward slowly. That's going to be a really important thing. We're not going to want to do that. We're going to want to hit the gas pedal, and that could be detrimental to us. All right. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, spirit is saying stop for a moment and go over the cards one more time. So we have something from our past coming forward that we weren't necessarily wanting to see or wanting to connect with, but it actually brought us to the place where we could connect with our inner child and what we have loved and what we love and what we cherish. And all of a sudden, what's important has become clear to us. All right. We can kind of hem and haw over it, but there's a realization of no, this is what's important to me. And that comes forward. That's what is also going to help us work with the blockage around our life purpose, around our throat chakra, because as we embrace our heart, we start to embrace our voice. And as we embrace our voice, we step into that Mercury energy in Leo. And it's like, no, I got this. So that's going to be a really big deal. This is a time with the Eight of Pentacles. We are working hard. We are diligent. We are determined. We are focused, amplified by our beautiful Capricorn energy. That's all about, I got the goals. Saturn energy is like, I know what I'm doing and I know how I need to move forward. Now we have to be mindful of trying very, very hard to outrun the chaos of life. Part of this moon is going to be connecting with the chaos of existence and saying, I see you. I'm not ruled by you. You do not get to terrify me. And it moves us to this place of power, to this place of nurturing our dreams and our desires and the way that we want to move forward in prosperity and success, and entering into a new season of saying, I got this. I know who I am. And we're also starting to see that, yes, fears come in, doubts come in, but they don't stay. They're like, okay, I see you. I acknowledge you. You may move on now. Because it's like, I will always be afraid of XYZ, or I'm afraid of it right now. Doesn't mean that I have to always be afraid of it, but it could be a phobia that we've had since we were little. I acknowledge you, but I'm not ruled by you. So just being aware of that is going to be important. Okay, now let's move to the moon. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, very interesting. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay, so what's very interesting here is you have strong Aquarius energy coming forward. If you're born on the cusp with Aquarius, if you have Aquarius in your chart, take note of it, because it is going to be working with you, okay? But there is also doubt within that Aquarius energy of, can I be truly who it is that I am? And as long as you come from a place of love, kindness, respect, be you, be you, be a pillar of light and love in this world. Gosh knows we need it. It moves us then to gratitude. Gratitude is reverse. So what's very interesting is that part of things that are going to come up during this time are things that we weren't grateful for when we were little. They were the harder things that happened to us. But once we start to acknowledge it and say, like, wow, I lived through that. Like, I did that. I came out the other end of that. We start to become very proud of ourselves. And it's bringing love into the situation. Love, compassion, connection. That is amazing. It moves us then to, as we work, we're going to look and embrace a balance within ourselves. It's like work-home life balance is going to be important, but it's also going to be bringing that energy of work and determination into everything that we do. And this is, luck is on our side. This is going to be a time where we're like, nope, it's not luck that's doing it. It is me that's doing it. And that is a very good place, because it's like, it's building our confidence and it's building our connection to success. It moves us then to show the world the real you. And that we're a little bit apprehensive with. It has us embracing the void. It has us embracing the expanse of life and connection. As we embrace our inner child, we are afraid to show the world who we truly are, because when we were small, we got rejected in one way or another. But as we embrace the expanse of time and we say, you know what, I'm here for a finite period of time. Everybody's here for a finite period of time. I am being fully and completely and passionately me. That is going to really, really help us. It moves us then to communication is key. And that brings a lot of change. It's communicating to ourselves our power, our authority, our determination, our focus. Now, change is reversed. We want to stay, right? We want to stay how it was, even if it's not good. Like, even if it's not good, it's like, oh, but this is what I'm used to. And yet communication is key for us to take the mantle of our prosperity, our success, our power, and then embrace change, but also look at things and say, this is what I want. It brings us then to conclusions are within reach and resilience reversed. So as we enter into this new season of ourselves, we question, right? Did I get to the point I wanted to get at? Like, did I achieve what I wanted to do in that season? And was I as strong as I should have been? And we can be really questioning ourselves and saying, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Don't. This moon brings up a lot of questions because we want to be the best possible us and achieve the best possible way. You have, even if it was like, wow, I made a lot of mistakes, or wow, that was such a hard time, or wow, I crumbled, but look at you got back up. So many people don't. So here it is realizing that everything isn't going to be tied with that neat little bow, but it's better that way. It is better that way. It moves us to expect powerful change, which is funny because we're fighting against it. And we don't see ourselves as protected by this moon and by, life in general. It's like, I'm kind of out here in these streets alone, and you're not. Your angels, your spirit guides want you to know, I'm guiding you, I'm connecting with you. Expect powerful change and embrace the compassion and connection with your angels that will protect you, that will help move you forward. Now, always be smart, always be practical about things, but we're not feeling protected, and yet we are. So just being aware of that. It doesn't make you invincible, but it makes you guided by the sacred, and that is beautiful. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message, which is the blackbird. It says the magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. And that is absolutely true for you, Capricorn. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra message, which is forgiveness reversed. We need to embrace our heart chakra and forgive. It's like, forgive what cannot be changed. Forgive what, we didn't know better about. Or maybe we did and we had to live through some really, intense times. It's the forgiveness, not of everybody else, but it's of ourselves. And it's the love of ourselves to move forward. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. And it's the Eight of Cups reversed. So what's interesting here is we have the repeat of the number 8. 8 is a very practical number, and it aligns very well with this time period. And with the 8 of Cups reversed, it's saying to us, be mindful. You're not walking away from something you need to. You're like, there's a change that we're fighting against during this time. We saw it with the moon. There's a change that we're fighting against, and we need to accept it. We need to walk forward into it. It moves us then to the Seven of Wands reverse, there is something here that we're saying, you know what? I'm not doing this fight anymore. I'm not doing this endless fighting, bickering, nastiness, whatever it is. I'm done with it. And it moves us to the moon, which is assessing, reversed, and then adjustments are required. So we're going to be more inclined to adjust things, but we're not going to necessarily be inclined to assess it, like to look at the bigger picture. And that's kind of with that energy of the Six of Swords that we're told to be mindful of. We want to charge full ahead, but assessing things, looking at things, kind of like look both ways before crossing the street, that's going to be super important for us. Okay. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please know that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Capricorn, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.